Hi, and welcome back to my spiritual corner. My name is Ragna, and I'm a Norwegian solitary witch, writer, spiritual teacher, tarot reader, and now a podcaster. Thank you so much for tuning back into my show. Either you're listening on podcast or maybe you're watching me on YouTube. Either way, I'm so happy and grateful that you are here. And today I am going to talk about tarot, one of my favorite things in the whole wide universe. I love tarot. So today I'm going to talk about what tarot is, how you can get started with tarot, a bit about history of tarot, and why tarot is awesome, basically. And as in every episode, like in every the end of every episode, I give a free tarot reading. And today it is Marie Nuid, which is getting her. She sent me a request on the email address podcast@ragnaspiritualcorner.com, and she wanted me to look at her work situation. So I'm going to look for what the card says about her work situation for the next 6 months. So just hold on, Maria. It will be at the end of the episode. And dear listener, if you want a free tarot reading, please send me a request on the email address podcast@ragnaspiritualcorner or contact me via Instagram or Facebook or even via my contact form on my webpage, ragnaspiritualcorner.com. So yeah. And before I start, before I forget, I just need to inform I'm starting with workshops again. So and this my first workshop will be about the moon and the phases of the moon and how you can live more in harmony in all areas in your life by following the phases of the moon. So join me on June the 6th for a little workshop. It takes only about 2 hours, and I'll tell you all that I know about the moon and how you can work with the moon. So check out my webpage on events and you will see that there will be a moon workshop. Okay, enough about that. Let's start about to talk about tarot. Okay, I'm crazy about tarot, and as you know, you regular listener, I have a tarot reading in every episode. I even have an online course of and tarot, and oh my god, I need to inform about that as well. I have an online English video course which is named Get Started with Tarot. It's a really fun online course. And um, you who are listening to this episode, you get like a coupon. So just write podcast if you want to purchase this online course, and you get 11% discount. So check it out. And I'm going to talk now about why tarot is awesome. I've always been interested in tarot and the mystic stuff, like all the mystery and magic, which I think tarot kind of it has this mystic and magical like energy around it. And I actually bought my first tarot deck when I was studying psychology in Australia back in 2007. So I started to study and look a bit at the cards and did some small readings and stuff back in 2007, but I was completely overwhelmed by it. I wasn't ready. So it was first when my son Lucas was born in 2017, 10 years after I bought my first tarot deck, I started to really like educate myself about tarot and started doing readings for real, both for myself and after a while for my family, friends. And then I became a tarot reader. I write a daily tarot column in on the webpage of Medium, the magazine Medium. So I have like a card of the day. So I give tarot readings. It's part of who I am now. So I started my I found out early in my spiritual career that divination was a path I was supposed to go. And that is what tarot is. It's a divination tool. And I started as an energy healer back in 2016, 2015, 2016. And I felt really early as I started giving healing to clients that I needed something more. It was something more, some kind of message I was going to bring. And I had started using oracle cards, which also are a divination tool. I'm going to talk about the difference in a bit between oracle cards and tarot cards. So just hold on if this is completely new for you. But I started using oracle cards on my clients, and it felt so natural, and I was just where I was supposed to be at that moment in time. and I got this really accurate, spot on information messages for my clients. And I used more and more oracle cards. And during my maternity leave with Lucas back in 2017, okay, I'm starting to studying tarot cards now. I'm going to use tarot cards. So I dug into it, and um, I was a bit overwhelmed at first. So, by the way, the online course that I have made is the online course I wish I had when I started learning tarot. It's fun and easy, and I show you how you can learn this amazing divination tool by looking into a system, finding kind of a way of getting around all these different symbolic meanings, and having fun with it and trusting your intuition. Okay, so I'm probably going to talk more about this course in during this episode, so just forgive me about that. Just check it out on my webpage, and know that if you use the coupon code podcast, you get 11% discount. Okay. Yeah, so I found out early that okay, divination was a part of my way to go, and um, I have been using oracle and tarot cards ever since. And since I think 2017, 2018, I have started to use tarot like full time. It's I also use oracle cards in my readings as well, but tarot is, yeah, it's something just amazing with tarot. Okay, so a history of tarot. Tarot was originally playing cards. They were invented in Italy back in 1400s, 1500s, and used as normal playing cards. So, but I think also that is what history just kind of, it's just packaging in all the mystic occult stuff and magic with cards, like it was playing cards. But I think whoever created tarot, the tarot deck, must have some channeled information, because the tarot deck contains, it's, for me, it's like the direct line towards the universal wisdom. And it's an amazing tool to trust your intuition, to kind of kickstart your clairvoyance. And for me, it's been an amazing self-development tool. I have grown so much more confidence as a spiritual teacher, as a witch, as a human being, having, or a soul having this human experience. It's been really like a game changer for me. And yeah, so originally it was playing cards, and but they are traditionally used as divination tool. And a divination tool is some kind of equipment you use to look into the future, or to look into a theme or some questions that you might have. You can use runes, you can use tarot cards, oracle cards, you can read bones. God knows, like it's so many divination tools. I trust me, it's so much to do, like pendulums. I'm probably forgetting heaps of different tools now, but it's many. But tarot and oracle cards are really well known, and they're getting more and more used by the modern witch. And quite not spirit, like people that don't look spiritual as well, they use tarot. It's like that, you, with tarot, if you kind of know the system and you know your cards, you have an oracle with you all the time. It's an amazing tool to kind of get clarity, get confirmation, get some guidance, and to get in touch with yourself as well. So it's a divination tool, and tarot is, it differs from oracle cards by being built on a system. Okay, just to tell about what oracle cards are at first. Oracle cards, card decks, they consist of many different themes. It's so many different themes, like sky is the limit. It's angels, it's dragons, it's ascended masters, it's fairies, it's elements, it's spell casting oracle cards. It's so many different themes, like sky is the limit. And every oracle card has kind of its own, it differs. It's usually between 44 to 60 cards, but that's, it's no rule at all. It's free, whatever amount of cards you want to use. But that's kind of the traditional, like most oracle cards have around 44 cards, with it's with the angelic number as well. I think Doreen Virtue kind of set the standard back in the days when she was active. But it's no rule. It can be as many cards as you like in an oracle deck. And usually the creator, the author, and an illustrator, they have like a theme. and usually the author, it's maybe channeled information, or he or she has done some like deep research within a theme, like crystal or dragons or angels or god knows what. So that's oracle cards, and every card has its own unique meaning, which can differ from oracle deck to oracle deck. But tarot cards, on the other hand, they are based on a system. It's always 78 cards in a tarot deck. It's always 78 cards. And the tarot deck is divided in two major parts, which are called the minor arcana and the major arcana. And arcana means secrets. So these are the small secrets and the big secrets of life. You can tell it's a bit dramatic and mystical and magical, isn't it? I love it. And the major arcana consists of 22 cards, and the minor arcana consists of 656 cards. So the major arcana, the 22 cards we see here, they are kind of bigger, deeper soul lessons, big happenings that you meet maybe several times throughout your life. There are kind of lessons, episodes, scenarios that we human beings experience that often change our lives or mark like a game changer in your life. And whenever a card from the major arcana comes up in your reading, it's like a heads up. This is a big sign. This is an important message. So the major arcana is whenever we do a big reading. Personally, like it's many ways of reading the tarot, but I always look at, okay, how many majors are there in this reading, and what are the, like, because the major sets the overall theme. Yeah, and it's, yeah, so it's they are really important and often like soul changing messages, and we often call them archetypes as well. So that's the major arcana, really short and sweet. Like we could talk about tarot until the day we die. And the fun thing with tarot, like you never stop learning tarot. I learn new stuff about tarot all the time. That's why I love it so much. And it kind of grows with you. And the meaning of the cards as well, even though they're based on a system, they kind of change with the way you change as well, which make the readings just more and more awesome. It's my opinion anyway. So that's the major arcana. And then the minor arcana, the little secrets, they have the same build up as normal regular playing cards, but they have one extra court card. It's not only the knight, queen, and king, it's also a page. So it's page, knight, queen, and king in the minor arcana, which then the whole minor arcana becomes 56 cards. And then the minor arcana, as in the regular playing cards, they are divided into 4 suits. But in tarot, they are wands, which represent the element of fire, our passion, our creativity, our courage. And then we have swords, which represent the element air and our mental power, our thoughts, our communication, and stuff like that. And then we have cups, which represent the element of water, which again represents our emotions, our intuition. And then we have the pentacles or coins, which represent the element of earth, which again represents all the physical, all the material stuff in our life, like money, house, real estate, and stuff like that. So they have like their own theme every suit as well. And there's also like a numerology meaning as well, and you can also put in astrology meaning, symbolism in all tarot, planetary. It's so much stuff that you can learn and just add on, keep on adding to the symbolism with tarot. But it is this ground, like stable system: 78 cards, major, minor arcana, soul lessons, and then the minor arcana have like the more practical hands-on lessons of being a human being, like and have more maybe concrete, more specific ways of like messages and symbolism and guidance than what the major arcana have. Yeah, so this is the system. So in one way, tarot is to learn tarot, you need to memorize these different meanings. So I recommend, like in my online course, I have made some cheat sheets to tell it. Like, and I found when I started learning tarot, I found some kind of versions of these on Pinterest, and I highly recommend finding one of these. And yeah, this is a nice way to kind of memorize the different like aspects of the tarot. And I think actually, as I sit here and record, I'm going to give this cheat sheets. So you can, I'm going to give a link so you can download this handout. So you can maybe start having some bit of fun with your tarot. Okay, I decided that now. So it's fun. So you'll find a link in the description of this episode and to a page where you can download this part, which is a part of the online course as well. So yeah, I hope you like it. Yeah, and if you would like to purchase the course, remember to use the coupon code podcast and you get an 11% discount. Okay, the course is in English, so wherever you are around the world, you can take this course. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the tarot is built on this system, and they have like this amazing connection to being a human being and being a soul in a human experience and coming with awesome guidance and really good messages through these two arcanas. But with that said, there are so many different types of tarot decks. And like I'm just going to show some here on you won't see it in in the podcast, but on the YouTube version, like I'm showing, I have one deck called Tarot. It's a small little, it's just called Tarot, and it's just a small little deck with really like easy figurines. They're kind of childlike. And the card tarot deck I use the most is Tarot Cats by Bonadi. It's with cats on it. It's so much fun. I love that deck. And I also have Vikings Tarot, which have like this northern uh, oh my god, like Vikings and northern gods and stuff like that on it. What's it called again in English? Northern mythology, it's called in Norwegian. I'll probably remember it after a while. And also I have some card decks from Radley Valentine, which is called Angel Wisdom. These are with angels. And I also have even I haven't used this one, but it's so cool, I think, to have as well. It's Tarot del Toro, which is created of Guillermo del Toro's horror movies and the figures. It's a really cool deck, but it's a bit grotesque as well. So it's so many different types of tarot. Yeah, and I'm going to use a different one as well today when I'm giving Maria her reading, the Druidcraft Tarot, which is built on pagan Druidism and Wicca. Yeah, so you get the point. It's so many different types of tarot decks, but all of them, even though they look so different, they're based on the same system. So that's the fun part of it. And that's also, I think, by having this artistic freedom, like you can build even more meaning and symbolism and guidance to the message, with the cards being having their own kind of tone and personality. It might sound crazy, but I thoroughly, like, really believe that every tarot deck, every oracle deck has its own kind of personality and tone. So when I give a tarot reading, like as you probably understand by now, like I'm a material girl. I love stuff, nice stuff, shiny stuff, as I talked about crystals last episode, and I love nice tarot decks. And it's one of my I collect tarot decks. So I love to kind of use my intuition and choose a tarot deck before a reading. Okay, which tarot deck am I going to use for this client? And that makes it so much more fun, because then it's like, okay, it was heaven sent. I used my clairvoyance, my intuition to it was meant to be this tarot deck, because the Empress in which is a card from the Major Arcana, can look so different in tarot cats than in the Druid cards, and in another card from the Major Arcana, Death, can look so much more dramatic in Tarot del Toro than what it does in Angel Wisdom card. So it's so many different decks. So if you are considering starting to learn tarot, use some time to find a deck that suits you, that calls out to you. And I'm serious about this. The tarot decks have their own personality, their own tone, their own way of kind of showing this universal wisdom. So don't be afraid to kind of have a look at different stores. If you can visit some kind of metaphysical store or spiritual store, do that, have a look at them. Or it's so many different options online as well. So like Amazon and Etsy, like Tarot Cats is made up by artist called Bunny D. She has her own Etsy shop. Like it's so many cool tarot decks on Etsy as well. So please just Google and use some time to find your perfect tarot deck. And maybe if you get like into tarot, like you get completely hung up with it like me, you'll probably end up having many decks and you'll use them for different like occasions as well. So don't worry, you're normal. Well, that's what I tell myself as well. But yeah. But anyway, why be normal if that's boring? Like have fun and be crazy with the cards, I think. So yeah. And that's one way to get started, to find your deck. And when you have found your perfect deck, like I talk about this in my tarot course as well, cleanse it, use the moon, use some sage, knock it, use crystals, whatever method that is perfect for you, and kind of have like a ceremony before you start with the cards. Get to know your tarot deck as well. Like have a look at the cards, uh, all the different beautiful images, and shuffle them well because they usually lie in a specific order. So shuffle the cards well, make sure that they are all spread out nicely, and have like a nice prayer to start with the connection with you and the cards, and a nice activity you can start with learning the cards. Well, now you're getting this handout that I have made by pushing the link in the description of this episode. You will also get a card of the day exercise, which is one of my favorite exercises, and I do it every day. I have it actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, at the back, I have this altar where I have some cards. Like I pull either an oracle or a tarot card every day, and it kind of sets the um, what is it, to set the tone for the day or the focus. Like I start every working day or every day in the weekend if I can as well to pull a card. I have a prayer to the god, the goddess, the elements. It's a way of centering and getting tuned in to me and the day. And then I pull a card to kind of, okay, what do I need to focus on today? What kind of message do I need to read today? So, and then I put this card on a little stand on the altar and I meditate. I do some reading from Course in Miracles, and then I meditate. And I use my intuition, choosing a meditation on the insight timer. And I also look at the cards before I start and after I meditate. And then I also maybe I look at the card during the day and at the end of the day. So it's kind of a nice way for you to learn tarot as well, because you get to know each card. Like it's a process, it's a lifelong commitment, I think, which might sound totally overwhelming, but it's so fun. I promise you, it will give you so much joy, clarity, and you will get so much more in contact with your intuition as well. Uh, yeah, I think card of the day is the best exercise to start with to help you trust your intuition. So if you're completely new to tarot and you start with card of the day, look at the card, look at the image. What do your eyes first look at? So, and what does the feeling of the card say to you? What does your intuition pick up? And then you can read in the booklet following the cards, or maybe the handout that I am giving to you now. And you can kind of check out um, what is it that the traditional meaning is, and you'll probably be baffled that your intuition picked up some of that universal meaning of the card as well. So it's a awesome process, and I highly recommend it. It's a really really nice thing to have as part of your spiritual practice. Okay, we're going not going to turn this podcast into a tarot course now. But if you want to learn tarot by me, check out my online course Get Started with Tarot, and use the coupon code podcast and you get 11% discount. You're going to get the first handout for free now, you who listen to this. So, and you can start having some fun with your tarot cards, and you get these little sheets that I have made in this handout. So it's easy for you to find the meaning of every card. So you can start doing tarot readings for yourself straight away. And another tips I want to give, like if you're completely new to tarot, maybe you even find tarot a bit scary and dark and mystical, which is it's awesome. Don't worry, it's not dangerous. But I highly recommend Radley Valentine's different tarot decks. He's also an angel expert. And as I mentioned his Angel Wisdom Tarot, which is one of his newest decks. Like I think he has a new one now. Like he creates decks all the time. And every single one of his tarot decks, they have a nice booklet with the meaning of the cards, how you can get started, and how you can do some easy readings as well. But he also has on every single card there are a message, which is the essence of that card. So you can kind of get a meaning. It's almost like pulling an oracle card as well. Like you get the message of the card straight away. You don't need to remember the meaning of the card. So I highly recommend his cards, and he has nice images, pictures on every single card. So that's a pro tip for me. Like Red Valentine is awesome. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to say about the tarot for now. I'll probably have more episodes. So if you like to hear more about tarot, if you want me to talk more about the major arcana, the court cards, different suits, like please let me know and we can go all geeky, deepy about this. Okay. Now I'm going to give Marie Noor her free reading. She wanted me to look at her work situation for the next 6 months. And dear listener, if you want a free tarot reading, don't hesitate to contact me on the email address podcast@ragnasvirtualcorner.com, or contact me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll let you know if I choose your request and which episode the reading will be in. Okay, so I'm just going to thank the cards first. Which I also recommend in the online course when you start doing readings. Okay, dear tarot cards, thank you so much for all the wisdom and love that you have shared so far. Please know that your wisdom is only used for the higher good and to help other people as well as my own self-development. Help me now help Maria to look at her work situation over the next 6 months. Show what is true and necessary and filled with love for Maria. Thank you. Okay, so let's see, Maria, what the cards has in store for you. And usually, sometimes when I do readings, I get images when I shuffle the cards. And when I do that now, I see a car. So that might mean, Maria, that either you are a professional driver, maybe you do some transport thing, or maybe you're a taxi driver, a bus driver, or maybe you're considering something like that. I see wheels and I see love for cars. So that might be fun. Or this could mean that you are traveling, you are moving to get this new job. So let's see. I'm going to pull 3 cards to show like a general overview over your work situation for the next 6 months. So the first card is 8 of Cups. And as I said earlier, cups represent the element of water, which represent our intuition, our feelings. And here we see this man or woman walking out of the picture, walking away from these 8 cups. So you are in a process of leaving one job, getting to another, I think. And this has been quite emotional and some heavy duty for you, to be honest. 8 of Cups is like a really it's a magical moment actually, because it's so hard and it might be filled with grief, with sorrow, with a lot of like hurtful feelings, but it's also relief, sweet, sweet relief. Finally, you're taking that step. You're leaving what does not help you and support you anymore, and you go into this new loving situation which your heart longs for. So you are at the threshold between, between jobs, between opportunities. So be kind to yourself then, Maria, because this is a time where you need to love yourself as well, and know that things will be better. Eight of Cups is a stable card for growth, so emotional growth as well. This will be better for you. And the second card is Five of Cups, which again, it's been an emotional time for you. And Five of Cups is it represents sorrow and also feeling a bit sad. So this tells me that whatever job you have had has not been fulfilling for you. It has not made you happy, and it's time for change, my darling. It's really, really time for change. And with Five of Cups, it's also a lesson, because in many card decks, as well as this the Druidcraft Tarot deck, we see this man or woman standing only focusing on what he or she has lost and not what he or she actually still have. So it's five cups that are on the ground empty, and then there are two filled cups behind this person. And this is an important remembering for you to, or note to you, to remember all the good stuff that you have and what you have learned from this situation. Okay, things didn't work out the way you wanted or the way you planned, but still, it has given you knowledge. It has made you grow as a person. It has given you this experience. So try to look at all the good stuff with this situation as well. That's the lesson. And it's a lot of emotions there, Maria. The last card is Four of Cups, which is also about emotions. And um, you feel probably a bit bored as well. Things are not moving quickly enough for you. So it's a lot of feelings with this work situation, and things will be a bit still for a while, because Four of Cups, it's like you don't feel inspired. Things, it's the ultimate boredom card in tarot. So, but it's also an important um what's it called again? You need to remember that you can find inspiration in many different areas. So try to look at things from another angle. Okay, how would you have given some helpful advice to a friend or a family member being in the same situation as you? By doing that, you are taking a step back and you are viewing the whole situation from a bigger perspective, from another viewpoint. And you will probably see that, okay, in the big picture, in the long run, this isn't as bad as I thought. And by the time you listen to this podcast, this episode, it's out on the 27th. On Monday, the 30th, we are heading into a new moon in Gemini. And this new moon is perfect for you to kind of get things clear with your communication and what you want in life, to see things from different angles as well. So see if you can use this new moon in Gemini to kind of get like a new perspective on things. And it will probably help you stir things up. And remember, when we are in the waning cycle of the moon before the new moon, there are a period like the couple of days before the moon is new. It's called the dark moon, balsamic moon. This is a time for healing, to introspection, to reflect, to heal. So see what you can learn from, like, you're walking away. It's a this that is quite clearly, that was the first main card of this reading. You're walking away. So the next 6 months you're walking away from the situation that are not being good for you. And you should, I think, like, you do whatever you feel, of course, but during this, because of this reading, it's important that you look at what you have learned from the situation and what is actually positive about it. And try to look at it from a different angle, a bigger perspective. And as I said, as I was shuffling the cards, I saw wheels. I saw like a vehicle, maybe a big vehicle. So maybe you are moving from one place to another, that like, but maybe this is also a symbol of moving away from this emotional situation into a new situation. So try to look at it from different angles, see what you can learn, try to be grateful for all the lessons, the good and the bad ones, and use the new moon in Gemini on May the 30th to kind of set intentions for your work for the next 6 months, the next half year. So, yeah, and see how you can go from there. Okay, Maria, I wish you the best of luck, and I wish that you have all the joy and the love in the world with your job. And be kind to yourself. The cards tell that this is an emotional, and it's been emotional hard for you even. So try to look at the positive things. Use gratitude as a tool every day to kind of find the positive in this lesson. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your request and your uh, that you wanted a reading from me. And dear listener, if you want a free tarot reading, please don't hesitate to contact me on podcast at ragnarspiritualcorner.com or on Instagram, Facebook, or you can use the contact form on my webpage. And if I choose your request, I'll let you know which episode your tarot reading is coming. And if you want to order a tarot reading, you can do that as well. I have a shop on my webpage, ragnarspiritualcorner.com. I do readings in both English and Norwegian. And I just published, as I recorded this podcast, I just recorded a half year ahead reading. So if you're curious about what the next 6 months have in store for you, you can order a reading where you get a neat PDF document with a card for every month. I look at the main theme, challenges, and possible gifts. Yeah, and it will keep on giving every month. And also, again, if you want to learn tarot, you can go into my webpage and start the online course, what get started with tarot, and use the coupon code podcast and you get 11% discount. Okay, yeah, and I have to remember again, before I forget, like I'm also having a workshop about the moon on June the 6th, from 10 to 12 here in Norway. It's online by Zoom. And if you want to learn about the phases of the moon, you can join me on this workshop. Okay, so it's all on the webpage as well. Yes, thank you so much for listening. Next week, I am going to talk about the elements and how you can work with them as a part of your spiritual practice. Okay, thank you so much for spending time with me, listening to my podcast, where today I've been talking about tarot and how you can get started. I wish you a lovely weekend, and until next time, blessed be. Stay magic. Bye.